Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining our webinar today, The Role of Women in Patient Advocacy. We are glad that you joined us today. We have some translation services available, and they will show here. You can either scan this QR code here on the left side of your screen, or we will be putting a link in the chat where you can just click and the translation services will open for you. If you have any questions or concerns or problems with the translation app, please make a comment to us in the chat and we will do our very best to help you with those issues. My name is Stephanie Williams and I am from GAAPP. And I am here today to introduce to you Perpetual Obiagari Noongaro. She is a dedicated patient advocate and GAAPP's African and Middle Eastern administrator. Based in Nigeria, she works closely with partners across the region to strengthen patient voices and support community-led solutions. Obi brings deep compassion, regional insight, and a strong commitment to empowering families. She's a happily married woman and a proud mother, and she believes in the power of women's leadership to drive lasting change. Obi?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Stephanie, for that warm welcome. Thank you, GAAPP team. I welcome everyone. Happy International Women's Day. I am so excited to be here to introduce and explore on today's topic, which is the role of women in patient advocacy. GAAPP, as some of us already know, has 4 pillars. One of them is advocacy, hence the topic of today. But before I continue, I want to briefly explain what International Women's Day is all about. International Women's Day is a global celebration that recognizes women for their great achievements and push for gender equality. International Women's Day is held every 8th of March. And this year's International Women's Day is themed Give to Gain. And I will personally add, when you give women visibility, their voices become amplified. Now, let's find out some of the roles women play in patient advocacy. Women are the unsung heroes in healthcare. We bring compassion, we bring empathy, resilience, and unique perspectives to healthcare. Women play many on-the-ground duties that is not recognized most times or even rewarded. And in general, you can bear with me that in everyday life of a woman, she does all this without looking for a pat at the back. She just do it because she's a woman to forge ahead. Now, why are women important in patient advocacy? Firstly, women bring empathy, as I mentioned before, and also they bring holistic approaches. Example is they are nurturing feelings and emotional states of a patient. Women always make sure they put themselves in people's shoes to be able to understand how they feel, to be able to render help and address situations. Women leadership shows strong patient-centered outcomes most of the time. You all can bear with me. Just like we have in GAAPP, GAAPP is a gender-friendly organization led by Tonya Winders, our amiable Tonya Winders, whose compassionate and strong leadership skills reflects the heart of patient advocacy globally. We have many women advocates in GAAPP, but due to our time, I will not be able to mention all of the women you guys already know and their great achievements in patient advocacy. But let me dive in and share my own personal story as an advocate and as a caregiver. I work for GAAPP and I also work for Asthma Relief Campaign Project as a member of that organization too. Asthma Relief Campaign Project is based in Nigeria. And my advocacy journey with Asthma Relief Campaign Project is not just professional, it's deeply personal. My family has been impacted by asthma, and we have lost so many loved ones to this condition. As a caregiver, I have witnessed firsthand the importance of quality care and support. Asthma Relief Campaign Project's mission is born from experience. It is driven by loss and dedicated to making a difference. And I am so proud to be part of a community changing lives one breath at a time. Thank you very much. Next slide, please. Yeah, now we have a journey. Let's meet the incredible women who are leading patient advocacy efforts across the globe. We are honored today to have 7 phenomenal speakers representing different regions of the world. Each of them is bringing unique insights, their experiences, and powerful perspectives to this important conversation today. Let's begin this inspiring journey together. Next slide. Now, I have the honor to introduce our first speaker from Vietnam. Vietnam is actually our first stop today, and her name is Thu Pham. Thank you so much for joining us today, Thu Pham.
Thank you, Aarti. Thank you, GAAPP. My name is Thu Pham, and I'm truly honored to be here with you today. Thank you, the organizing team, for creating this meaningful space to celebrate women and advocacy around the world. Especially on the occasion of International Women's Day, I'm speaking to you today not only as an advocate, but also a woman living with asthma, a family member, and a professional. My journey into advocacy did not start with confidence or leadership title. It started with lived experience. For a long time, asthma was something I tried to manage quietly. I didn't always talk about it. I didn't always feel seen or heard, but over time, I realized that my story, like many women's stories, deserves space. Today, I would like to share how I balance family, advocacy, and professional life. What my role as an advocate means to me, and the challenges I face, and how I continue to overcome them. When people talk about balance, it often sounds like something that neat and perfectly organized. But in real life, balance is rarely perfect, especially for us, for women. For me, balance does not mean doing everything equally well every single day. It means understanding what needs my attention the most in different seasons of my life. My family is my foundation. It's my source of strength, love, and motivation. But living with asthma means that some days my energy is limited. Some days I have to slow down when I don't want to. As women, we are often expected to care for everyone else, even when our own health needs attention. Learning to listen to my body and set boundaries was not easy, but it was necessary. My professional responsibility and my advocacy work are deeply connected. I'm a lecturer, and teaching
Oh,
has
wow.
Yeah, and teaching has taught me more than how to deliver knowledge. It taught me how to listen, how to communicate with my empathy, and how to understand diverse experiences, skills that essential in advocacy. Alongside with academic work, I am a patient advocate. And I'm bringing the voice of people living with with asthma, like me, in broader conversation about health and empowerment. For me, advocacy is not something separate from my professional life. It is part of who I am as an educator, as a patient, and as a woman. There were moments when I feel guilty for not doing enough at home for my children and not doing enough at work, or not doing enough for advocacy. But I learned that guilt does not have anyone. What helped was learn to ask for support. Asking for help does not mean weakness. For me, it became an act of leadership. I learned to prioritize, to communicate openly, and accept that the rest is also productive, especially when you live with a chronic condition. Talk about the role as an advocate for women's empowerment and the challenges and how to face the challenges and get overcome them. My role as an advocate began with my experience as a patient. I'm an asthma patient. As a woman with asthma, I noticed that patient that many women in the world experience. Our symptoms sometimes will be minimized, our concerns are sometimes dismissed. We are expected to be strong and endure quietly. I realized that
Exactly.
my experience was not only personal, it was a part of larger global issue. But at the day I met GAAPP. Through GAAPP, I found a community that value patient voices. My role, just a very small role as an advocate to make sure the voices, especially women's voices, are heard. Advocacy to me means speaking up when something is not right, sharing lived experience to inform better care, support the woman so they do not feel alone. We can divide the challenges into both visible and invisible. Living
Okay.
with a chronic illness like asthma bring me physical limitation, fatigue,
Mm. I know.
uncertainty, and moment of fear. But there are also emotional challenges. I feel self-doubt all the time, especially I got exacerbation of asthma and the
Mm.
pressure to appear strong all the time, frustration all the time. One of the hardest challenges for me was accepting my limit. I used to think that being advocate means always being available, always saying yes, always pushing forward. But I learned that sustainability matters. What helped me overcome these challenges was accepting the rest is necessary, connecting with others who understand, being kind to myself on difficult days, communicate, make me difference like before. So
Mm.
being part of GAP reminded me that advocacy is not a solo journey. When we
Exactly.
support each other, we become stronger, not
Mm.
as individually, but as movement forward.
So,
To every woman watching today, especially women with chronic illness like me with asthma, I want you to know this. Your story matter, your health
mm-hmm,
matter, your leadership matter. You do not need to be perfect to make an impact.
mm-hmm,
You do not need to have an answer to begin. When women just raise your voice. When then we can, I think that we can challenge system, change perception, and create a better future, not for ourselves only today, but for next generation. So on this very special occasion International Women's Day coming, let us continue. Our women continue to support one another,
Yeah.
listen deeply, lead to compassion.
Yeah, thank you so much to Fab for that wonderful testimonial. Our second stop is in Uganda, Africa, where we have the honor to welcome Gladys Nalukenge. Thank you for joining us, Gladys.
Thank you, Obi. I'm Gladys May Nalukenge, and I work with Community Health and Information Network, and we are based in Uganda. And we cherish, and our focus is majorly based on having resilient communities free from public health challenges and social inequalities. I'm glad to be here with you.
Would you want to tell us briefly how talk to us about how you balance your family? I know you've got a great family there. How you balance your family, your work, and your other responsibilities?
My family time, my work, and then other responsibilities, usually from Monday to Friday, working hours, then evenings, weekends, and holidays. That is my family time. I have to set boundaries for my time, for my family, and my family, this will involve, going for prayers. It involves gardening, household chores, visiting friends and relatives, etc. Then I also have to, to rely on the strong teams in the community. Now, in the community, we have the community-owned resources. These are the schools, the community leaders, the women groups, etc. And at times, we also have the patient groups. And these are, we rely them on majorly, to create awareness on the different disease areas. Then we also have the women groups, and then the fellowship of women at church. So we use those opportunity time to interact with them and with them about health issues.
As an advocate for women empowerment, right? I want to know some of your responsibilities, like what you do as an advocate for women empowerment. Thank you.
As an advocate for women empowerment, we have so many women. Women have a major characteristic of, keeping a low profile. So we work hand in hand with them and with the community-owned resources to ensure that their voices are amplified, especially women and young girls in the marginalized communities. They have a tendency of keeping, always at the back. So we have to create, space for them so that they can come up and speak without fear. And we amplify their voices, and we ensure that, they also interact with the leaders, and then they are seen in the leadership space. They are recognized. Now, as we've seen and as we know, women are usually, deep-rooted gender norms with the limited knowledge. Yeah. They lack the information. They have no access to information. And yet they have that heavy caregiving burden in their families, in their communities. So how to curb out that challenge, we talk to them, we make use of the community-owned resources. In the schools, we meet the young girls. Then in the community, we work with community leaders, the local leaders. We work with the community health workers, so that we ensure that we give the women the information that they need, and the tools, the resources, so that they can come up, and address the challenges they face in the communities. The women and the young girls out there, I was focusing on this year's International Women's Day theme, give, give to gain. Yeah.
Give to gain, yeah.
Yes, I think we can use that opportune time of that theme to ensure that we give women and young girls, health literacy information, yeah, so that they are able to navigate, and to face the challenge, to get solutions to their heavy, caregiving burden that they have, because they are ever seen guiding families in health matters. So they need the information, the tools, and the resources. Otherwise, Community Health and Information Network, you can always contact us on www.chainproject.africa. Thank you so much, Obi, for the
Thank you
opportunity.
so much. Yeah. The next stop is in Ghana, Africa, where we have our wonderful Ruth Ajoa Abeka. Thank you so much for joining us, Ruth.
Yeah, thank you very much. As mentioned, I am Ruth Abeka. I am married to Mr. Samuel Pumi. I'm the executive director for the Psoriasis Association of Ghana. We create advocacy, create awareness about psoriatic disease. We have other NGOs that we also speak to. We are into research, but with the research, we've not had funding yet, but we also do our own underground research about the disease. One thing that I always say, and what motivated me into this field, is that I am a public health officer as well. So in my field of work, I came across skin diseases where I found out that we had the one that are contagious and the one that are not contagious. So I had to meet up with a young man who had flare-ups on the skin. Then I had to investigate in his case. So with the help of other specialties, I was briefed that it is called psoriatic disease. So that encouraged me to advocate on this issue, because in Africa and Ghana itself, people don't really look at these cases. We think about other issues, forgetting that when one has any problem on the skin, or when one has any rash on the skin, you are unable to go out. You cannot go out. You cannot speak with others. You can't even go to work. But let's say I have any disease that does not show on my skin, I can go out without informing anybody. So I saw that gap, and I was moved to help this young man. And I could say that this young man is doing well and is one of our ambassadors. So today I am proud to say that I speak about psoriatic disease, both in Ghana and beyond. It's not easy in a way, but we are able to work around it. What I do is that with my balancing, I am able to schedule my time, especially when it comes to the family, and also with work, and also advocacy. I do my advocacy especially when I'm among people. Let's say I go to church that place, I have the opportunity to talk to people about this, because a lot of people do not know what I do. And as public health experts, we deal with the society. So we fill in the gaps, or we find those gaps and fill in. Also, I am able to also go to work with the family too. I close from work, come and rush out with the family as well. Even though it's not easy though, but
Yeah.
we are able to balance it. For example, I schedule within the week. I go to the office 4 times in a week. So within that 4 times, I do my advocacy there. I reply my emails. I am able to attend to some patients as well. Then when I come home, one day I use for my home cleaning and stuff. Then the weekends are also for church and other family activities. So even though it is not that easy, but we are able to adjust. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for this question.
You're welcome.
My motive as an advocate, and especially for women empowerment, is to be a voice for the voiceless.
Thank you.
When I say this, I mean, let's say we are in the society whereby a woman has psoriatic disease, also have other multiple conditions. They are unable to come out because of stigma from the family, from the society. Sometimes they are unable to go out. So I talk to them about this. Your skin is very deep. So therefore, when you know that with this condition, I cannot go out, why don't you come out brave? Tell them that this is what you are and you are proud of it. In a way, or I believe that this is one of the strongest way to fight the stigma, because you are proud of what you have.
That's right.
Yes. And also, what I also try doing this is about gender. I encourage other young ladies and other women to be bold. We attend some meetings and we could see that the men are standing out, they are talking because, yes. But as a woman, I go there to also show that I also have that courage to speak up. So I speak with other people. Let us come up as women, speak up. If you have any problem, if you have any suggestion with issues, don't hide yourself. Come out, talk about it. And I think it is really helping. Not if I could say, not in a small way, but in a big way. One of my talents that I face is I actually do not have a means of transport. So as I try to join the bus or the public transport. So financial constraints, they are one of my biggest challenge, and it comes to my husband sometimes. He comes to support me with this work because I do not have a stream of funding that comes, but I am passionate about what I do, and I love to see people smile. So when I don't have funding, how do I go about it? One, my husband can support with what he has because he wants to to encourage me. Also, I try to partner with other NGOs who have programs. I try to join. Then I am given some few minutes to also share what I have with my disease area. Yes, and also one challenge I also have is let's comes to emotions.
Oh,
You see that with women, sometimes we feel so pressured.
I
I need
know.
to get, I need to get to what I'm doing, but the family is calling,
Mhm.
the organization is calling, and this
Exactly.
is also one of my biggest challenge because I cannot do it alone. So I overcome it by trying to involve other people who are volunteers who can also help me.
Great.
The little thing I want to add is that as a woman, not only an African woman, you can do what you intend to do.
That's it.
All the positive things in this world, we can do it.
That's
So
it.
let us adapt that can do spirit. Even when we think people are not hearing what we are doing, one day they will come to a realization that women and African women, we are able to fix and solve problems anywhere we find ourselves.
Thank you so much, Ruth, for that wonderful testimonial. I appreciate you so much. The next stop is our fourth stop in Bosnia and Herzegovina, where we have Vildana Mojkic. Thank you so much for joining us, Vildana.
Hello. Thank you, Obi. Thank you very much. My name is Vildana. As said, I'm patient advocate and caregiver, and I'm also a mother to a child living with a chronic condition. And that experience is exactly what shaped my advocacy journey. Yeah, so exactly. I'm the founder and the president of AAA Association in Bosnia and Herzegovina, but I'm fully employed with GAAPP as well. So sometimes it can be very difficult to juggle all things, balance family, advocacy, and professional responsibility, as you said. So my organization in Bosnia and Herzegovina is focused on atopic diseases and respiratory diseases. And we work a lot in advocacy, education of our patients. We also organize a recognized Congress, AAA Congress in Bosnia and Herzegovina, together with GAAPP. So balancing family advocacy and professional responsibility as a question that you already send me is something that is very interesting to talk about. So in my case, I would say that balance is deeply interconnected. As I said, I'm a caregiver and my son is a patient. So caring for him has shaped my purpose and given my work true meaning. So for me, this topic is very important for this coming International Women's Day, because family advocacy and professional responsibilities do not exist separately in my from my
Your point
perspective.
of view.
Exactly, and they overlap a lot. So what I can share from my experience is that I have learned that the balance is not about the balance is very important, first of all, but it's not about giving equal time to everything. It's about being fully present when I'm personally needed the most. So sometimes we can even we cannot balance everything in every moment, to
Yeah.
be honest. Yeah, you
Yeah.
would probably agree. But what we must remember as a woman, all over the world, on every continent, is that women are often the ones and the only ones who still try to juggle everything. And we carry responsibility quietly sometimes, I would say, and we keep moving forward even when we are exhausted. So balancing is something which is very important, especially we have professionals who wear several hats, and I am one of them. Also, I have family, and I believe that women can do it. Yeah, exactly. We all have challenges in our professional and personal private lives, and I think we should talk openly, because this is something that will probably help most of us to keep doing things and not to give up. So one of the biggest challenges I face is, as I said previously, is carrying multiple roles at the same time. So being a professional, a caregiver, and leader in spaces where women are often underestimated, I would say. So there are moments, of course, of self-doubt and pressure, of course, which is something that we all witness. However, I try to overcome these challenges through resilience, through the support of other women. I found this very important, that we lean on each other. So I also try to overcome challenges through believing deeply in my purpose. So when I can explain to myself the purpose, then it seems much easier to keep up doing things. And I, of course, lean on my community, because we need each other, and we can always go to each other and ask for help, of course, and share our experience. And this, what you do today exactly, is the thing where we share experiences and we support each other. Also, learning as something which is constantly learning. This is something that would probably help. And also in advocacy, I would like to share and emphasize that change does not happen overnight. Sometimes we are not patient, and sometimes we just want, to make it happen. But in advocacy, in this sphere where we operate, we need to be patient. And every obstacle, becomes a lesson, and every setback reminds me personally why I started to keep doing these things. So it's not just for myself, but for us, for women, for families, for patients, for community. And I see this as a very important, just to understand when you have obstacle and then you keep up doing. Well, thank you, Albie, for this great opportunity on this International Women's Day with GAAPP and with AAA Association Bosnia Herzegovina. We have amazing women, amazing leaders, amazing caregivers, and amazing patients. And I do want to remind every woman that their voice matters, and that their living experience matter, and that they're all leaders in some way. So they do not need to wait for the permission to lead, to speak, or to take their space and place in their communities. I also would like to send the message that change begins when women support each other. That's why I find this very important. They need to believe in themselves and just to dare to step forward. So that would be my message for this very important day.
Thank you so much for that wonderful, inspiring story, Vildana. I appreciate it. The next stop is our fifth stop, the United Kingdom, where we have Lisa McNeil. Thank you for joining us, Lisa.
Hi, I'm Lisa McNeil. I'm a patient advocate and I am chair of the Aspergillosis Trust here in the UK. The Aspergillosis Trust is a charity. We were formed in 2021, so we are quite young still. We are patient led, so everybody in the organisation have an experience of aspergillosis. Most of us actually have the condition. We have a trustee whose father had the condition, but we're all volunteers. There's only 5 of us, so we managed to do a lot with a little. Yes,
Thank you.
it is, and it's definitely one of the biggest challenges has been balancing everything, balancing family life, um, running the charity, and the patient advocacy work, whilst obviously maintaining my own health because I do live with a chronic lung condition myself.
Wow.
But that's really where this whole thing came about. The advocacy work came from living with the condition. So there are days when, fatigue and symptoms make things harder. And I've just had to learn to listen to my own body, to take it slow when I need to. Um, and if I can't physically do something that day, then maybe I will read something, maybe support somebody through social media. But I've learned that leadership, if that's what you want to call it, isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's just about showing up and being consistent when you can, and really just about caring. Caring deeply about the community that you work for, caring about your family, and caring about yourself.
Yes.
And if you can't do all those things, then yeah, it becomes very difficult. And it did take me a long.
Exactly.
It did take me a long time. It took me
Yeah.
a long time to be able to, in my husband's words, put me in
Okay.
somewhere in there. But I have learned, and I think that I hope that I do it quite well now.
Thank
I mean,
you.
I spend my time supporting other patients,
Mm-hmm.
raising awareness of this very rare lung condition, and just trying to help people feel less alone. And I think that we do that through the charity, through campaigns, through education and literature, and we try to help other patients feel empowered. We
Okay.
support them through doctor's appointments and providing them with the knowledge and the questions that they should be asking, and we support them through that. And recently, one of our greatest achievements to date is that we have written had a children's book written, Dad and the Sneaky Spores.
Oh
Um,
my God.
and that book is to help families talk about illness together,
Well
but
done.
also to understand aspergillosis, but also just to understand what it's like living with a lung condition, because I
Wow.
think that can be very difficult in families. And I know I experienced it myself. We had a
Mm-hmm.
lot of our patients who were experiencing it. How do I explain this condition to my children or my grandchildren when I can't
Mm-hmm.
even explain it to my family? So we wrote this book, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely,
Wow. Well done.
yeah. So, well, alongside obviously the challenges of dealing with a lung condition myself, which is possibly one of the biggest challenges, my dealing with my own health. But I think also the fact that I'm in an arena where the condition that I'm trying to advocate for is very rare. and there is not an awful lot of awareness of that condition. And that's really been our biggest challenge, and it continues to be our biggest challenge. We need this condition to be recognised everywhere. And that in on itself will make diagnosis easier for patients in the future. It will improve the treatments that patients will get in the future. And we are, I believe, that we are doing really well compared to when I was diagnosed and there was absolutely nothing out there. We now have patient leaflets in over 30 different languages on our website.
Wow.
So patients can go there and access that information, print it off, take it to their own doctor in their language. You know, the way that we get around that is hosting things like World Aspergillosis Day. We ask people to wear purple, we ask our patients to wear purple, and we try to flood social media with as much information about aspergillosis as we can. And tomorrow we have, apart from having a webinar, which we are hosting with the National Aspergillosis Centre in Manchester, are hosting that, and we're taking part. The author of our children's book will also be reading extracts from the book live on social media throughout the day. So, yeah. So there's a lot happening. I think my message to other women is don't underestimate the value of your experience. And also, you don't have to be perfect or even have loads of time to make a difference. Even a small action can create real change. Remember this, if you are helping others and if you are creating change, you know, then you are already empowering other women. You're already doing it. You're already doing it. And I say to all of the patients who come to me, your voice matters. Your voice matters. Your story matters. And it's important to keep telling it.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Thanks a lot for your time. Now we have our sixth speaker all the way from Brazil, Marcela Fernandez. Thank you so much for joining us, Marcela.
Sure. So I'm based here in Brazil. I live in São Paulo, but I'm originally from Recife, which is another city in the Northeast. And I've been working with GAAPP since last year, but I know GAAPP for a long time. And I've been working with social projects for the last 20 years. I started really young on this journey. So I feel really blessed to be able to help GAAPP with this fantastic team. And what else can I say? I am married. I have 2 young kids, and I have 2 dogs as well. So basically, I have 4 kids at home. And I also work. I mean, I have this. I work with health projects, but I also work with gender and migration and human rights projects here in Brazil. It's really it's not easy to balance everything. But what helped me the most is having a strong network, not only to support me with my family, especially with my kids because they're young and I have a job and they go to school and everything, but also having a very strong network with my colleagues at work. So the GAAPP team members, my other activities, colleagues, and that is the thing that makes the most difference on that. So basically, I try to keep a schedule as much updated as possible. I mean, always looking forward to be flexible because there are a lot of things that happens all of Sunday. But having this network makes all the difference. I basically I represent for GAAPP. I support the team with the projects, and I'm always trying to represent the gender specific theme on every project that we deal with, because we know there is still a lot of things that we need to overcome being a woman in this world. And besides that, I advocate for gender, not only for national population in Brazil, but for Latin America and for immigrants that are here, for the other activities that I do. And I always try to put the gender thing on the front because we still have a long way ahead to really have this world more just for us. So I basically lead the projects on gender here in Brazil, and but not necessarily focus only on gender. I do work with immigrants and not only the health projects that I do for GAAPP, but also for immigrants, for more more vulnerable population in big cities and etc. Being a woman still can be an issue in certain spaces that we have to work, especially when we have places that are very male dominated. So having a leadership position can be challenging for that because they always want to ask us double work to prove the value that we have and that we are capable of doing what we do. So building a strong network for our work is very important for that and helps a lot to keep us focused on what really matters and not letting me down with the negatives and all the prejudices that we still have in a professional environment. Let's say it this way. So I believe this is the greatest challenges that I've been dealing with. I also started really young, and when we are young, people naturally doubt us because we are recent started in the activities, and so I have to prove that I am young and I'm capable of doing what I do. You know? I want to thank you again for the opportunity to be on the GAAPP team and being able to speak on this very special day. And if I can give you a message, is that we are going to face difficult times ahead on your family, with your friends, at your jobs, at your cities, and everywhere you go. So try to keep your network of friends and family people that you trust just around you, even if not physically around you, but just keep them next to you so you can reach them whenever you need. And don't let people put you down because each and every one of us has a very specific and very strong capacity of being a life changer in another life, in another life that you may meet and during your life. So
I appreciate you so much, Marcella. Thank you for your time. Now, the seventh stop is in USA, where we have our wonderful Dr. Awa Toure. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Awa.
Sure. Thanks, Obi. My name is Dr. Awa Toure. I'm an internal medicine physician, a mother of two, and someone who deeply believes in showing up for both my patients and my community. I'm here representing Permian Health, the Lung Institute, and thank you to GAAPP for inviting me.
Awa, do you mind sharing with us about how you manage your job and the family and your other responsibilities? How do you balance these three things? Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I don't actually believe in a perfect balance. I believe in seasons. Some seasons require more from your professional life. Others require you to spend time with your family. I'm fortunate to have a supportive partner, my husband, and this shared support makes all the difference. With two children, life can be wonderfully chaotic. I've learned that balance isn't about doing everything at once. It's about being present where you are without guilt. Some days that might mean being fully focused at work, and other days it means stepping back and being fully at home.
What you do as an advocate for women empowerment, do you mind sharing with us? Thank you.
Yeah, so I believe that advocacy isn't about being necessarily the loudest voice in the room. It's about using my voice intentionally. It's not only about uplifting women, but basically giving them agency, listening to them, being an advocate, and giving them opportunity. I truly believe as a physician, my role is to listen carefully, speak thoughtfully, and help create spaces where women can lead and make informed choices for themselves and their families.
We want to know some of the challenges that you face carrying out these duties, and how do you overcome these challenges as a woman? Thank you.
Yeah. One of the biggest challenges is to basically have the pressure of doing everything well all at once. Medicine, family, advocacy. Each of them in their own right are demanding. And there are moments when they compete rather than align. I've basically learned to let go of perfection and choose presence instead. Asking for help, relying on partnership, and remembering that rest is not a reward, it's part of the work. So self-care helps me stay grounded, whether that's stress relieving from kickboxing, which I do, Pilates, which I've tried as well, where enthusiasm far exceeds my technique. So that constantly reminds me that humility is still a valuable life skill. As a mother to a daughter, I'd like her to grow up in a world where she sees herself in the women leaders. At the end of the day, advocacy, especially for women, is about sustainability for everyone, but most importantly for women leaders, it's about sustainability. And it firmly includes taking care of ourselves while creating space for other women to lead. To women everywhere, your voice matters, your leadership matters, and you're allowed to grow and rest at the same time. Happy International Women's Day to everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Awa. Thank you for coming through. And as we come to the end of today's webinar, I would like to sincerely thank each and every one of you for taking time to join us. Your presence and commitment to advancing patient advocacy truly make a difference. A special thanks goes to the GAAPP team and our incredible speakers for sharing their knowledge, their experiences, and passion with all of us today. You have inspired us. I urge everyone to stay connected with us and keep an eye for our upcoming newsletters. Also, follow and subscribe to our YouTube channel for the full section of this webinar in the coming days. Let's continue this advocacy, making an impact together. Thank you once again. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.